structure of a book. And the way to get to that is something that makes it unique, but it can be replicated. So then I do the same thing. So my method I call write your book backwards, which doesn't mean from right to left. It doesn't mean you write the conclusion before the introduction, but it starts by, let me visually explain that. Do you remember a movie, there might be more of that, which is called Zorro?
Yeah.
So Zorro movie. So that typically would have a poster for that, where is a big Z, or some people call it Z I think in the US, we call Z. Not just a printed one, but like this. And that exactly is the point. So take the first horizontal line and go maybe 80 in your mindset. You think, there's a launch event. And then you add manifestation. You stand on the stage. You see the people coming, many you might know. And this feeling of how you can present your work to them, what influence it can have, the reception of that is actually a big motivator. You would miss out if you don't do that. And you can do it on virtual one on Zoom. I launched my Happy Habits book last year only on Zoom. But this time I've done it big again to have everyone there. In my case, even I put it together with birthday and 10-year anniversary. So that got me more bumps and seats, so to say. But then when you plan this and you visualize yourself there and the feeling you have, and then you go to the rest of the remaining 20% of the first line, which is to define the outcome. I don't say the monetization, but rather the impact. Impact can be financially, impact can be reputation. So I'm just working with a client who wrote Christian poems. We don't talk about making money from that, but the impact it can have of his words to those who he can help with that and reflecting well on that. So then you complete the first horizontal part that you know really where you want to get to. I'm even a person who loves to have the cover before anything else. And then you go down the line of the Z that tells you now you need to create the whole structure, the process that, okay, it will have 7 parts and then maybe 24 chapters as in my current book. So then I create what is in there. I would write these 7 steps based on like a table of content. Should be already done. And it says in my case here, because it started from a layoff, the break, something happens. Then the pause, what to do with it now. The pull, something pulls me in. That was back then Australia. The preparation, the network, the reset, and then in balance to have like a transformation journey along the change curve. So that is helpful for the readers. So on the shape of the Z, I designed all of that. It was very clear of any chapter in between where people are coming in and what the chapter would do to get out of that. So then what remains me is the bottom horizontal line of this Z that I go ahead and say, okay, now let's go and fill this stuff with content. So I wrote the book based on bullet points first, that I know exactly that comes in there. And every bullet point, so to say, is like a paragraph. And the only thing I had to do, and it took me 3 full weekends in the month of March, is to replace bullet points with paragraphs, with stories. And I collected kind of stories, what I want to tell on the side on that, and just have to put it all together. And then that is half of this line. Then, of course, put it on Amazon, put it on Draft Digital, ensure that the cover looks well, and do the invitation for the launch and everything else. But people would start normally by